Hey, StarField fans, welcome to another thrilling episode of Mossys Space Place. The cringe is real. Anyway, I just kind of been sitting around here at my outpost, waiting for the sun to come up. Past few times it's come up, it's been pretty crappy weather. So, my goal is to kind of showcase the base because I've got some buddies who wanted to see it. And, well, Kilo and Widget, this one's for you. Right now I'm just kind of hanging around here with our spider, uh, my little pet alpha ashta. I grew him with that whole outpost stuff for tank girls, farming mods. Here's some of my creatures. They're not showing up the best right now. So what I might do is wait. It's got to be getting close to daylight. I'll go give a tour of the inside lab here real quick. So pretty much I've done all the interiors on these buildings myself. Over on the far end, over at the spaceport, way down that way, there's one that a Miss O structure that's already pre-decorated. But otherwise, I tried to decorate it all myself. This is basically the lab portion where we've got some, for creature harvesting. We got in my mind this is like an autoclave to sterilize instruments and high pressure sterilization kind of thing going on. Eye wash station. You can change into your lab suit if you need to. Shower afterward back here. This is pretty industrial. Now over here I don't have quite this finished yet because I need to get some more structures harvested and continue with this countertop kind of going around here. But I'm using it to ring this edge so you just don't fall off. And I think it's going to work all right. We'll see. Down here's the lab. We got another little lab suit that kind of helps with discoveries and stuff. You put that on. This thing here is where I keep all of my eggs or DNA stuff for hatching and cloning creatures. Down there, that's just empty. Here's some storage. There's some more storage. I got to keep the storage separate because my alchemy set here will only use stuff that's natural. Like if you check here, see how they all have inside the quotations vital fluids, carapace seeds, blah 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 blah. They aren't made in a lab, so to speak. They're just harvested naturally. Those are the only things that'll work with this alchemy lab. This thing looks like a throwback from Elder Scrolls, but this one you can use anything on, and it's pretty much busted as hell as far as what you can get out of it. You can get some crazy experience gains and all sorts of fun stuff. I don't really use it much, but I threw it down in here because it is an alchemy station. So, and over here we just got some decorations. I'm gonna have to put on a helmet or something, so it's kind of dark. I use a flashlight that way. But no, just some decorations. Now, these were all pre-decorated shelving units, but I put them down. So there's that. Coming up this way, we'll see if we've got some daylight yet to work with. Yeah, but no, my goal is to ring this in, of course, everywhere but the stairs going down. I've done that at a couple places because StarField does not believe in railings. We'll pop out here. Still pretty crummy out, but I think the sun's starting to raise. Might come down and get a better look at these guys once the sun does come up completely. But yeah, I can see a little orange glow over there. It's starting to do a little something. Might as well take the steps up to the manor proper. Maybe on the way we'll hit the greenhouses because those are pretty well lit too. Oh yeah, there goes the sun. Starting to show. I did put up some lights, but the lights that I do have here don't really shine that well, especially in the darker corners. These guys here, those little lamps, they put out a lot of light, but the greenhouse interiors are really well lit, so the only problem is they don't seem to be working that great. Uh, This one here you can see looks like a weed farm basically. Uh, I put all these down to hide what wasn't working, which is my pumpkins. They weren't growing. But I was able to get them to grow on a separate plot that's just not a greenhouse. But anyway, yeah, this doesn't really serve any purpose other than decoration, and tearing it down would have been an eyesore. Plus, I think that little piece of pumpkin stuff persists, so uh, in here I was trying to grow some wheat. Got a little bit over here on the side, but these haven't come in yet. I'm not sure if they are going to. I think they're probably just not going to work, which kind of sucks, but yeah, it is what it is. You notice these steps don't look like anybody's hit them with a broom or a scraper or anything in a good long time. This is not a texture native in the game that you can get on your stuff. It's supposed to be clear and clean, but there's a glitch where it will take on the properties of the, I guess, the texture of the ground. And around here, you get a lot of this stuff. We'll pop in here real quick. This is the farm building, where I've got like the nitrogen grower, nutrient thing, and the chem bench. I really need to kind of flesh this out in here a little bit more. Over there are some more underneath this cover. There are some more farm implement machines like this make fertile soil, and that does my compost. And then tucked back here, these I think are the crop plots if I had to do it over again. These would be the plots that I use, not the greenhouses, because these covered ones, they seem to work pretty good. Like I've got my pumpkins coming in pretty nice. I'm going to, of course, put some more in, but I just wanted to experiment first to see where I could get them to grow. We'll head back over this way. Now that we got some daylight, I can show those creatures off. They're ugly little buggers. And I got to shut the lab door. We don't want the critters getting in there. The creek grazers, everybody knows those, but these bonebacks are like weird crab things. They're friendly, they won't attack you or anything. But if I wanted to harvest them, I'd tip them over their trough. I could get a little resources from them and grow some more. I'm not going to kill them off right now, though. This is just like a little setting area where I wait quite a bit. Of course, with our spider. I think I'm just going to take the steps. It's going to be a cloudy day, it looks like today. Where are the blue skies when you need them, huh? This is the place I probably spent the most time decorating. Notice when we come up here, this is my guy's personal living quarters. Out there's like the spaceport, I guess you'd say, with others. But this is his personal abode. We've got some terracotta statues with pirate helmets, of course, because he's Crimson Fleet. Got her up the colors. So over here we've got basically a workbench. You can kind of sit by the fire and work on your weapon. Another little ashta. I've only got two of them. There's what? Snipper and Ankle Biter, or I don't know. Their names change every time I play. That's old age for you. Back here I got like a little safe with infinite storage, so I can throw in all my mats for crafting. And then there's a spacesuit workbench kind of in miniature form there too, so I don't take up a lot of space. Over here I've got my tribute to the Mantis. Of course, got the Mantis helmet. I bought the mod that gives you the Mantis gun, that Moon Prayer, the crossbow, and the little knife. And then these are all of the things that you find for the story of the Mantis. I just thought there was enough of them to fill it up nicely, so I went ahead and did it. We got a poker table over here where we can play cards, if we could play cards, which unfortunately we can't. But and back through here, oh, I put in these banister things because normally there's just slat. I don't know if anybody saw these steps before. I've modded them out a little bit. They look a little strange. They're just kind of free floating. So I tried to make it look like there's a banister by snapping some countertops, and I think that's like a grave marker over here. But anyway, it does the trick. And back here's like a little alcove for my hireling. They can work underneath the steps like a little troll. But the pathing on this isn't the best, so what I'm going to do if I assign any outpost crew here is use the mats that assign them a shore in a location where they just stay put. So otherwise they could wander into a wall or something. Through here we've got the bathroom, which my character seemed really excited to get to for some reason. He went running. I got the toilet hidden behind an enormous garbage can, but nah, it was really my only option. I thought of maybe putting like a basket in here or something instead, or like a waste basket, like they used to be, but couldn't find anything that already didn't have like food or weird stuff in it, so I thought you don't want food in your bathroom. But yeah, there's the mirror, some lighting. I want to put a gun in here and just kind of put a thing right on the wall so you're always armed, Maybe one by the bathroom toilet too. Yeah, back behind here, just put in some shelving and a picture that looked like it kind of fit in here all right. I don't really spend a whole lot of time in here because it's the bathroom, so why would you? But I do spend more time in here. This is where I made the kitchen area. For it, I didn't really want to have like a big kitchen table that everybody sat at. I wanted to kind of go with like a bar style. That table back there is probably just where you do your meal prep. There's these cooking stations again from Tank Girl's Galactic Harvest, where you got an air fryer. I think that's a sandwich prep station, gourmet stove, and there's a drink maker. I think a drink mixer. Yeah. I put in a sink. Kind of try to make it look halfway decent. Nice view of the meditation grove over there. The fridge has got a, I think, bottomless pit as far as storage goes. It's limitless, I believe, anyway. I could be wrong. Put a little spice rack thing up above there. The radio works. Different channels, but they're kind of a pain in the ass to toggle on and off, so we'll hit that up when we're getting ready to leave. Kind of like this over here. It's a ship in a bottle, but it's a spaceship. So I was thinking over here maybe putting like a little tea table or something, but I figured I'd just run and get it just as easy. So anyway, that's the kitchen. This should work. Yeah, research lab where you can do lab stuff. So between the main floor here, I've got my research lab, weapon, and spacesuit workbench. I don't have an industrial bench, I don't think, in here. We'll go up to the second floor. So around the corner, like my little sitting area where you sit and you watch TV. Of course, I had to go snag some Boba Fett helmets. This was the Empire Strikes Back one that's easy to get, and this is the one that goes alongside the Mantis that you actually have to do a quest for. I don't play it as I use them like as novelties, more or less. I don't usually run around as Boba Fett. I like to keep my genres separate that way. Just personal choice. If you mix and match, more power to you. Got some dart set over here. It's kind of, I guess, would be like the gaming alcove deal, where if you wanted to do board games or screw around with darts. I do want to get a dart gun up here, or a crossbow, and actually shoot at them because you can recover cross bolts. So that'd be kind of nice. So back, yeah, there's the TV and the speakers and all that good stuff. We got two standing ashtrays over there on either end. And a skull, and I think that pretty much, yeah, that's the loft area. Through here I have like the command station. I pictured my guy as like a pirate, and this would be where he goes to check on incoming flights, uh, you know, trade routes, that kind of stuff. Also, or I've glitched these in here to kind of try to make it look like something other than just these weird freestanding things. But we got the bounty clearance, fleet command terminal, so I can do all my watchtower stuff. Navigation console, another navigation console. This was what probably took the longest. Is these guys don't snap together, so this was all hand placement. You can tell it's a little jank, but it's about as close as I could do without completely losing my mind. And when you do lose your mind, you can come over here to the old bar, have a seat, and grab a drink. Guys evidently playing some solitaire a little while ago. Pirates and their card games, you know. Some more storage over here. I like the colors of the wood, how they kind of match. So we'll go upstairs to the bedroom area. I want to get one of those mirrors that you can actually use to change appearance, but I'll never change my appearance, so I figure what's the point? It's one more thing to interact with. Dresser drawer. Put some hanging things in here. This you can actually cook in the small galley. So you've got your food prep up here as well if you'd like. Record player works. It's a lot easier to turn it on and off too, so. There's my suit that I normally wear. And the bed, and another stereo up here because my guy's a big fan of music, just like me. We're going to shut this off though. Oops, that's not shut off. There we go. That's just going to play. It'll play till it's done. At least that sounds more piratey. Yeah, decorating this thing was a bit of a witch, but ended up coming together pretty nice. So this is the living quarters, but that's just part of it. An ankle biter makes some disgusting noise over here. True to his name, I guess. Yeah, it turned into a halfway decent day. Over here, I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking about putting like an outside barbecue kind of thing going on over here in this corner. Haven't done so quite yet, though. We'll go back and check out the back side of the property before going over to the spaceport. Said it's dark. I took off my gear to put it in that showcase thing, so I don't have a flashlight on me right now, because if you ever think you broke your flashlight, you just need to put on your helmet. That's all there is to it. No, we already kind of covered up here, but I've got a lot of storage for different things. I was also thinking maybe moving that cooker over to here, but I don't know, you don't want to have your grill and stuff over by your industrial farming crap. I don't know. So next up, we will hit the meditative grove. More of those steps that I've put in that are also getting green and slimy. I'm playing with the idea of putting a shooting range back in this corner, but I don't like the idea of shooting toward steps when people are going up and down them. It just kind of rubs me raw. But I thought this back corner here would be a good spot for putting a backstop of some type and shooting. But I'm not sure. I've not quite finished with this section of road that runs up there to the Grove. They've got like hot tubs and crap that you can put in or a raised, I don't know, I'm going to do something. But my friends wanted to see this and I promised I'd try to get it to them earlier than today, but life gets in the way sometimes. So here's that grove. And what's really weird is when you walk into it, the noise stops. Like you come out here, you can hear the sea. I don't know, you probably can't hear the game audio as well as I can because I've got headphones on. But you can hear all sorts of sea stuff. You come here, it stops. It's just awesome that way. But from here you can kind of see where we're going to be heading to next is up those gross steps we saw before, and then you can see the farm field. That's not too far from the distillery. So yeah, the name of this section of the base is called Pirate's Peace. And the other outpost over there is Half Troll Harbor. But Pirate's Peace is kind of what I figured my character would be into. Just self-sufficiency. I've got this big stretch of land here that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. I'm thinking I'm probably going to put in wheat fields because the wheat's just not growing right. And if the fields are anything like the corn fields are, that will solve that problem entirely. And then this looks really cool at night. Kind of, it's like the water system leading to the meditative grove. But it's not friendly water. You don't want to be sitting in it. But no, at night this looks really dope. It's all lit up different colors from the bioluminescent plants. Looks pretty neat. So popping up these steps, trying to work with this land without overtaking the land was not easy. I kind of like how this side turned out better than the other. The other side looks way too industrial. It's using the catwalks. But I do like the idea of having rails. So we'll pop down here. Yeah, and the corn's coming really good. Speaking of, my guy's hungry, so I may as well grab some. But for the distillery, I'm thinking I'm going to need lots of corn, lots of wheat, rye, that kind of stuff. Another little section here, but you can't really do a whole lot with this due to the size of those plots. I'm thinking about maybe putting some farm machinery down here, like a little garage or something. We'll head down to the distillery. Well, first I'll show you the water pump that runs the distillery. You can also get water access this way if you're on the shore. Sometimes I'll take my rover down in between this range and that range to the water and park it, and then just come up this way if I don't mind to swim in some toxic water. Well, there's my water handler though. It pumps up to a couple reservoir tanks that are over this way by the distillery. And that feeds, I gotta get that out of there. Got 200 of the pure distilled alcohol. Got some stimulants, I think, coming over here. Still kind of working in here a little bit. So we've got, I think, a wine still that's not up yet. And then just the distilled water. I want to put some more lighting in here. And out back here, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but there's space to do something if I wanted to. I got to get some railings up around here. I like me some railings. But I just might leave it as is. I mean, you fall off the edge, you're not being careful. So we will pop up here real quick. Let's see, I've showed off the animals, showed off the corn. All the stuff is pretty much done. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot, but it has taken me a long time to do. More water handlers, but you need all the water for the different crops and animals and that kind of stuff. Plus, the water here is poisonous, so you're always refining. At least in my head canon, that's how it's working. I'd like to put a couple more of these bushes here into this divide if I could, but I'm having an issue with them wanting to slide into the terrain. So what I think I'm going to do is use the trick where you lay down a rug, you put them on the rug, and then you slide the rug in because the rugs go freaking anywhere. Already showed off the pumpkins back there. I need to get some more farm equipment up and going. Got a little bit of hitch in my giddy up because the base is huge. Like I said, there's a lot going on here. We'll run across to the other side now. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed with how that wheat worked, but live and learn. I guess I'll turn it into more of a weed farm with big sticks coming out of it. Alright, now we'll hoof it across here. I'm still in the midst of decorating the interiors of this, but I think I have all the habs laid out that I want and the types that I want, and I've got plans for what I want to do with them. I've noticed ever since I put up railings though over here, it's been a mess trying to get in and out. I see there's a little bit of a hitch as we come across into the place. So I'll kind of show you what my idea is here. I've only got one small room fairly well decorated. This guy right here is where I craft my ammo. When I have my trade posts up and going with the things coming in, they're dropping off the different things I need to craft ammo. And also, you got your fabricator in here. I need to put another one down, but your industrial workbench. Some tools on the wall. These are listed as missiles, but I kind of figure this is the ammo crafting area. Across the way here is, let's shut that door so I don't have to listen to that. This is going to eventually be a bar. A small little bar. Nothing big. Just a spot where the pilots can grab a drink. Maybe something to eat. This one's actually furnished pretty much entirely by Miss O. This is one of her structures for Argos extractors. So I didn't place any of this. This is all decorated by her. This green section here. The only thing I did was cover up some stuff on the wall that I didn't like. So I put the butcher's Uh, butcher's guide there for Achilles, and then a big air conditioner. And then over here I put the big pirate flag, but this is kind of like the loot storage room where we're kind of, in my head anyway, it's where we're processing what goes where, that sort of thing. We get a fresh haul. More bunks for the people that I'm going to be assigning here. There's quite a few bunks. Back here is something that I did add. I'm still in the process of decorating it. This will be like the armory in the back where you can, of course, work on your weapons, store weapons. These will be where I store a lot of ammo, where I stockpile it so it's just not all on my ship everywhere. There's the bathroom where I put up an explosion sign by the frog that's bent over the toilet because I have a 5-year-old sense of humor. I don't know if I have anything in the fridges or not, but the fridge are, yeah, see I got food in there. The fridges are functional storage, and you can cook with this galley over here. I think you can also just randomly get Terra Brew coffee from the vending machine here. This next section I did decorate. This because this is another hab that we're crossing into. This would be like navigation for calling people into the port. It's still a work in progress, but it's getting there. Another cruise station here. Navigation console. I might pull one of these out because I know I can actually incorporate another one of these guys. These cruise stations. I can put one in that looks like one of these. But no, I'm far from done yet. I think over here I'm going to put like a little sitting area and some more stuff to make it, I don't know, look less bare. Maybe some computer crap. Server room kind of thing. I don't know. Up on the top I placed all those navigation looking things so they can do their thing. I think it's that guy that's making the racket because it's moving. Just trying to get to the source of what's making that noise. Up here I plan to put some guards. Oh, I think I know what that is. I think it's my rover. I'll get up there. But yeah, I'm going to put a guard post up this way. Over this way too. Maybe just mount some turrets because I wouldn't want to be breaking my leg every time my guard duty was assigned up this way. So here's the garage for the rover, which I didn't park ahead of time, but it always pops over here by the ship. This is, of course, my personal landing pad. Another one of those miso structures that incorporate whatever rock formations that you've kind of got around in whatever planet you're on so it matches up. It's pretty cool it does that. It also comes with a trade authority board. Again, if you wanted to get down to sea level for God knows why, because the sea will eat you, you can if you want. If there's ever a man overboard scenario. But yeah, trade authority and shipbuilder. Notice that my guns on the ship too have taken on that same kind of green algae rust. Only those guns though. My other ones are fine. I'm going to park this where it goes and then I'll explain what I've got going on with done this a time or two if you can't tell. I need to put some more. If any spot really needed fencing, it'd be like over here, because there's a spot where you can fall down over this far corner, which kind of sucks. So I might fence this in, or I don't know, do something with the build. But no, this is going to be the medical area where, like, as soon as you pop in, back this way would be once I get a doctor going, like an OR suite of some kind. And if somebody's really bad off, they're in the airlock. Where that door, I'm going to put like some fans like here, there, and there, so like it sucks out all the air. Then this will be like a quarantine kind of room. Or if shit gets real bad, because that's the only way you can get that door open. But yeah, that's Half Troll Harbor. Not finished yet, but it's on its way. So see, I think I showed everything off. I got the creatures and all that good stuff. But yeah, this planet's just beautiful. What I like about it too is I kind of plane my guy as somebody who would try to breathe life into a planet, so to speak. You know, make his own. And this planet has a habitable atmosphere, as you can see, because I'm running around without a suit. But there's no creatures. The water's a little goofy, so maybe that's what he's doing. He's trying to figure out how to, you know, make the water better. Really get creatures a foothold here. But hopefully you guys like the little tour. I'd say it's still a work in progress, but uh, I feel like I'm maybe 3/4 of the way there. Always doing some kind of tinkering to it, so I think that's pretty much going to wrap things up. I could do a ship tour, but I think I've put you guys through enough today already. Hopefully it gets to you guys in enough time that you can do something with it for the podcast. So, oh yeah, I may as well drop that in too. My friends Widget and Kilo, they have a Bethesda podcast where they cover some StarField. In fact, one of their earlier episodes, they had the writer from Watchtower on. But you know, they cover all good things Bethesda. So you know, show them some love if you would like. I'll try to link them in this video's end once I get it ported over to YouTube. But no, they're two great guys, and Bethesda Unpatched is the name of their show. Let's make sure I'm getting that right. Yep, Bethesda Unpatched. They do a podcast and also stream the podcast while they're filming it onto YouTube. So it's a good place to check out. Great community, a couple of nice fellas. Uh, Big Starfield fans just like me. So I guess that's gonna pretty much finish things off for at least now. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, a great weekend, and till then, later days.